Hello everyone, Anmo here. I just wanted to make this quick unscheduled video to talk about this movie. This is unscripted. I don't really have time to write it. It's just gonna be a quick, like 4 minute video talking about this film. So, well, hope you enjoy this. When I first heard that DreamWorks were making Kongfu Panda 4, I was like, well, this could be something. The last movie was definitely mediocre at best, but it was still a pretty good conclusion to the franchise. But when I watched the trailer around a year later, I was not very optimistic about it. Well, for one, the concept of fighting a villain who is able to morph into Poe's previous villains is a pretty cool concept overall, but the execution is pretty much mediocre at best, if not just terrible. Don't get me wrong, the movie is still pretty good overall. It's definitely better than that other one I'm not going to even talk about. But I'm not going to get into too much details with the plot and stuff like that since it's going to be spoilers. But I'm just going to go ahead and talk about the characters, the story, and basically how I felt watching it. Nothing. I felt nothing the entire film when I watched it. It had no stakes. It didn't feel like the chameleon was ever even a threat to begin with. With Kung Fu Panda 4 and Lord Shen, you could definitely feel the tension. And even with Kung Fu Panda 3, you could feel Kai as a genuine threat because of how powerful he can be and his intentions. Here it just feels, I don't know, it just feels kind of cartoonish, kind of unironically. And not to mention the Furious Five, which were pretty much one of the most important characters in the first two films, and kind of was completely ignored in the third film, wasn't even present in this film at all. Looks like DreamWorks didn't have to pay extra voice actors. From what I've seen people talk about this film, they generally say it doesn't add much to the overall story, but it's still enjoyable nonetheless. And I can kind of agree with that. It's definitely not a bad film. It is not a terrible film. It's just a bit mediocre, if you know what I mean. It's definitely not so bad that it destroys a cult classic and practically single-handedly destroys an entire franchise by over only one film and like a mediocre TV series. But overall, I'd probably give it like a 5 or even luckily a 6 out of 10. Because the scenes with Mr. Ping and Li Shen are honestly extremely enjoyable. I enjoyed every second of it. These two are literally friends made in heaven. And if you don't agree with me, I'm literally going to make your skin go out inside out. But this is all I have to say about this film. It's definitely something, but it was kind of mediocre. 6 out of 10 in the end.